Do a quick drive, huh?
Yeah, nice and cool.
Ooh, look at that. So maybe I shouldn't look at it.
For him.
He made it up! It doesn't help anyone apart from him! The fact is, people need to face their fears! Remember, I always say that! Face your fears! Don't run away!
Darius Fontaine can kiss my ass.
Oh, you'd like that? Would you like that?
I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Because you are the devil. People aren't really afraid, you know. Yet you make them kill their families.
Fears have to be faced! That's what I always say. Just ask Laszlo.
Hey, don't bring me into this ruckus, Darius. This is between you two wackos. I mean, and you stay away from me, Darius. I've got a restraining order, dude.
Laszlo, the only way that you can really communicate with your ancestors is to pay someone like me. Just a second. I want you to try something. Touch my cane.
This whole town, man. I think you've seen too many movies, dude.
You can be happy. Listen, join us. Be famous. Find your true self. Have a breast, nose surgery, whatever you want. Lie with 9 new partners a week. It explains everything. If there are no women, make them. From sand, from garbage, out of thin air. The rich cry too, Laszlo.
Well, that's an interesting theory that sounds like it was formulated with pharmaceuticals. But, you know, I would like to find about being rich and crying, because right now...
This one's kind of hard. Oh, that's a bike race? Hot diggity.
Who each thinks the other is screwing America. I Say You Say is next, with the Phillips. I'm Dr. Phillips, and I'm in the room.
Get to a 10-step program,
That's
lad.
12 steps.
Yeah, you only deserve 10. I'm also Dr. Phillips, and I'm conservative. Today on the show, is it okay to talk to people we were at war with once?
And the skyrocketing price of buying off a politician.
And we talk to people without health care who are genuinely happy not to be burdened with it. It's political debate and discussion from the right and the wrong side of the tracks.
Let's go to the phones before right-wing anger engulfs my wife. Who's on the line?
Hi, I have an eating disorder, so I moved to the West Coast.
Oh, that's so sad. Maybe we need a support group with some caring friends.
Yeah, maybe you should keep your finger out of your throat and eat a donut. 99% of the world wake up each day and eat dirt, and Queen Puke-a-Lot here can't keep a meal down? Boo-hoo! What do you expect, sympathy? This is Los Santos. People would give their right arm and left leg to live here. It's paradise, but you have to suffer to belong. You can't take the heat. Get out of the nuclear reactor. Next caller.
Yeah, I agree with that caller about the nuclear plant next to the project.
The first guy?
You know, nature has a way of taking care of poor people. Tornadoes don't like poor people.
Right, like I don't do laundry. I'm liberated, independent, and I have 3 maids, all of them on less than minimum wage. I mean, poor people are so happy to work for me.
Especially when I help them unionize. Do you have a question?
Sort of. Hey, you know, I got the same name as you.
Peyton. Oh, well, it's a family name.
No, Mary. I was called Bruce by my parents, but I prefer Mary. It's much more...
Yeah, feminine.
No, biblical. Which, like, okay, I'm an atheist, but I love the Bible. I have 100 that I took from hotel rooms.
First guy.
What's your question?
Well, as a mother and a fireman, I was wondering what you guys thought about diversity in
shoot.
America.
It makes me very nervous.
Well, you see, I'm heavily into diversity. I'm like a man with a womb, lactating.
Yes, I think you're a little confused.
No, you're the one that's confused. I'm the one who eats Alaskan salmon and children from Alabama. I speak English, I eat German food, I practice French adultery, and I weigh as much as Vatican.
Whoa. I think it was yesterday. I with the state.
You already slept with him.
So did I.
Ryan's on the...
You're driving like an idiot there.
concern.
I did really well in the 80s, but the 90s are proving to be a real drag. The music is terrible. The recession is kicking my ass. Everyone I know is giving up recreational drug use. And the president is doing my head in.
The 80s were really a materialistic time.
I know, I'm a shallow person. Drown me. Look, we need a movie star to be president. It works. They're the best liars. They do it professionally.
Well, so do all politicians. Next caller.
Yeah, I want to talk about Deforestation.
Yes, that is a shame, what they're doing to the thick, beautiful redwoods north of San Diego.
I was talking about women. But you're right, San Diego is half the problem. It ain't natural and it's un-American.
It's probably one of the worst corners.
Porno is the exploitation of women.
Some people want to be exploited, like factory workers. Others want to be degraded. I mean really, really degraded. Like a liberal having his way with you. God, it makes me feel so dirty.
Moving swiftly on from my wife. You're on I Say, You Say, and what's your question?
Yeah, this is Brad. I'm really into pleasuring myself.
Good grief!
Well, that's my business, but I feel discriminated against. Not only can I not practice my hobby in the privacy of my own garden or car, but my movies are rated as pornographic. I mean, let me ask you a question. Threesomes, right?
Well, that's where our problem started.
Yeah.
The producer.
Well, right. I rent a movie with 2 chicks and a dude, and it's called a porno. People look at me like I'm some sort of creep, but it's natural. But I rent a movie with 2 dudes and a chick. It's all in French, probably wins awards, called an art house love triangle. But it's revolting.
No, you're revolting. Get off the airwaves and into therapy, buddy.
Oh, that's the problem with men.
Must have
You're
to do
imbeciles.
something right off
Yet-
the beginning or something like that.
master.
Up your ass. Cannot be exaggerated. Marvin, it's time for your down dog. You really have a tail.
I was wondering when my career would hit bottom, and now it's here, right before my eyes. Hey, Stuart is on the line.
I think everyone out there will agree that the Russians are in charge now. Foreigners are behind that exorbitant handheld gaming device to decrease our productivity and make our thumbs useless so our kids can't fire machine guns.
I hear what you're saying about video games. People are dying every day of malaria, and it's all because of the messages planted in our minds from that degenitron in the 80s. Line 18. Hello.
Okay, man. I warned you. I've been over to the other side.
What are you talking about, buddy?
I've been inside everything, seen everything. Remember the first time you did mushrooms? There are aliens living in this state. Aliens, and I've held them in my own hand. Everybody, go to the desert, beg their forgiveness.
Well, that's the thing, you gotta keep them in vision so they'll get them back.
But ask yourself, why should I make this up?
The only thing I want to ask myself is how I can keep you off future shows. Oh, God. Kevin, hello, you're on the air.
All the missiles are under my control, not the government's control. Why do you think they put me in solitary confinement for 8 months? Because I can launch nuclear missiles by just whistling into a phone.
Really? Great. Could you wipe out all the other radio stations in town for me?
Hey, I don't do that anymore. I only use my powers for good.
Ah, look, this isn't a cartoon or TV show. Let's get real for a second. The problem with people like you who have superpowers is that you really don't use them for good. If I had superpowers, everyone would be naked, and women signing autographs at conventions couldn't resist me. All right, going to the conspiracy line.
Yeah, this is Montag.
Okay.
My name's Montag.
Oh, yes, I got that.
Hey, have you ever leveled a house with a helicopter?
No, but
that'd be really cool. I thought you were a DJ.
This is... No, this isn't it. This is a hard one though. I got such a slow car. Gotta get out front, like right out. Pretty sure this one's shot. That one was the hard part back there. Good.
You can't stop this swing jam if you try. And many have. Trust me, I don't lie. We ain't stopping. Not when we're just starting to sweat in here.
Vinewood, the stars, fast sports cars, the hot nightclubs, success. It doesn't happen overnight. Or does it? If you want to make it as an international film star, you have to start at the bottom. That's where we come in. At Dreammakers, we'll show you the path to success. Our Eastern European acting coaches will give you all the skills you need for auditioning in the entertainment industry.
My name's Philip. I enjoy pretending to be other people. Dreammakers helped me succeed in that goal. After some intense acting lessons, now I perform each day for thousands of people at the Glory Hole theme park.
I came to Dreammakers because I want to dance on Broadway. They taught me how to use my natural talents to succeed. Now I get to dance every night for money. I succeed $1 at a time. I did it. I'm in entertainment.
If you...
Hey. Well, the whole game is a toilet, Neon. I thought about putting, like, theater curtains down at the toilet seat. Then I can welcome people to the shit show. Stupid. Actually, I was going through, I listened to one of my old live streams where I was interviewing Elaine Witt, and I think I found what takes the first and the number 2 spot for the dumbest joke. Shouldn't the shittiest joke also be the number 2 shittiest joke? That's not it either. No, I'll give you the first one, then I'll give you the number 2. I'm an engineer who's getting into the rap game. And my name will be Two-Spec.
This is the music.
And then the number 2 joke.
And drug abuse. You won't even remember this song tomorrow. Going till the police break it out.
That really, when you think about it, time is an Irish invention. That's why it's called o'clock. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I don't feel wrong taking first place after that. I'm so toast. My car is gonna start on fire any minute. That's kind of close. I think I'm gonna give up on my career as a software developer. Start rapping under the name Two-Spec. Thank you for helping facilitate this major life adjustment. Oh. The hardest part was trying to decide if I should use the number 2 or if I should write TOO. It's gonna be some of the hardest raps. Even harder than column raps. Those things are kind of hard to install and make it look nice. Oh, that's a hard rap game. We could do that joke for Christmas presents too. Getting into the rap game. And my name will be... And my rap name will be... Okay, it's not as funny, but I'm a plumber who's getting into the rap game, and my name will be Master P. My skills have no limit. Oh, that's dumb. Gotta be some kind of way to incorporate no limit into that one. Plumber who's getting into the rap game. My name will be Master P. Started drinking heavily. We're getting away from that one. Speaking of bathrooms. Not sure what I'm doing. I'm still so half asleep. My body's still recovering. Day before yesterday, like yesterday I was recovering from having drank a can of gasoline. I had Mike's Hard Black Cherry, which was good. But then I followed it up with a Club Tails brand Bahama Mama. Excuse me, yeah. Not a father yet, given your proficiency in the art of the dad joke. I'm more of a funny uncle. It's stupid. I remember my parents telling me as a kid, watch out for funny uncles. Like, well, if they're funny, then if they're my uncle, that's a good thing. But it's not. We're talking about uncles that are funny. I know that now. Freaking Club Tails will make you a funny uncle. Yeesh. It was fun while it lasted. Harm. Oh, right, I gotta push the play button. Still waking up. Said that about me last year when I was babysitting. Had no clue. Man. Well, I thought it was one word. Like a shoe buckle. A funny uncle. It's like, what's a funny uncle? Do you know? What were we doing anyways? Oh, we gotta go back there. Okay. Back to Folk Reef. Not nearly as fun as going back to Christmas Reef. Ouch. What is this? Maybe she was just trying to light my cigarette. Now, if I only had a cigarette. I actually smoked cigarettes for like 6 months. When I was 17. No, it was 17 to 18. And the real reason is because I was going to an alternative school and we got smoke breaks. And I was like, yeah, I'll smoke too. And of course at the alternative school there's a bunch of people trying to finish their GED. So they're all like 20 and willing to share cigarettes with a young 17-year-old who claims to be 18. Ooh, is there a dragon word in here? Ooh. Shout. Shout. Let most of it out, and then keep part of it in, because I don't want to hear that shit. $15. $23. I figured if I was to start smoking in the modern age, I'd probably be a vapor. But the fact is, I did try the electronic stuff. In terms of weed. Vampires, I don't know about this one. And when I first got one of them electronic weed pens, I was like, this is the new way to live. I feel so technologically advanced. I was like, man, I don't have to have a lighter, I don't have to break stuff up, I don't have sticky fingers. Of course, it wasn't fully satisfying, that was the problem. So I wound up just having 2 habits, and then I wound up just leaving the vapes in the past. Several years, got tired of the juice leaking all over. Yeah, and it's not juice, we just call it that. The thinner. You can't just walk through a door, dude. Come on now. Doing none of that. Walked right through a locked door. Within 2 years, I was wheezing. Vegetable glycerin. Oh, okay. It's sugar. It's juice. It's juice, man. Let's juice it up. Free base nicotine or nicotine salt and flavorings. Oh, I used to make it. And built the coils, too. Wow. See, that's some interesting stuff, Deons. I've had a lot of jobs, but I never got fully into that. I did look up a little bit of it, though. Because I wound up, like I've invented some products, and one of my favorites that never actually got to market, the problem was with patent concerns, and then I was going to take it to market myself. And so I submitted this air freshener to a company called Handstands. And if you think of like Glade, made by SC Johnson, not Johnson & Johnson, screw that company, but SC Johnson, they make house air fresheners. Handstands makes the car air fresheners, and not just the Christmas trees, but also the ones where it's like you turn the top and sniff it. And they were really interested in it. But the problem is I took one of Glade's products and I took an expensive part out of it, an electronic part, and I put a cheaper part in its place, a little circuit. And it works off of the vibration instead of the motion. Now, here's where the patent gets nasty, is because according to physics, vibration is a form of motion. But according to electronics, and that's where their patent does not cover it. Their patent covers motion sensors, but not vibration sensors. And it very clearly shows that. Either way, I was like, you know what would be really good is to get a vape company on board with this, because they've got the building, you know, they deal with the liquids, the scents, and things that smell. They've already got the hookup on that. They've already got the cleanup. They've already got the storage. And then they got the trucks that take all these vapes to gas stations. So they could take their truck and load it full of air fresheners and take it to gas stations. And the whole vape, imagine, you know, instead of a vape that you breathe, it's an air freshener that goes off when your car shakes. But it doesn't go off when you're parked. And that was 9 years ago I invented that thing. I could never really bring it to market. And that's the thing about products. It's not the ideas are a dime a dozen, man. You gotta be the one to actually roll it over. Field-specific distinctions stifles interdisciplinary research and causes all sort of legal catch-22s. Yeah, that was the problem. Because then, you know, lawyers start arguing about stuff, and it's really if you can pay for the judge that you need. Whoa. Take that. I don't think I want to do any of that. Nope. Nope. Oh, he was supposed to go on the other side. Poor Elytra, he always gets abused. 23. I just hit 43. In another year or two, you'll have a quarter-life crisis where you'll say things like, it's been 7 years since I got out of high school. And you can start to plot your trajectory. But the thing to keep in mind, you can change things in a week, man. What a difference a day makes. Don't let it weigh on you. I don't think I've ever disagreed with a statement more. Intellectual property laws don't protect them. But a truly novel idea is worth more than any dollar amount. Well, that's fair. That is very fair. I mean, as an idea man who's always coming up with inventions, for me, they are a dime a dozen. But then again, I can't literally pay a dime and then get a dozen ideas. Well, good ones. I mean, I'll sell you a dozen ideas for a dime. It won't be good. Well, that just stirred up the hive. Yeah, man, I used to come up with inventions more often than jokes. I wrote a lot of them down, too. And I've seen some of them actually fruit. As far back as 2009, I was taking apart cable boxes to try and make the Fire Stick. The Amazon Fire Stick. Basically, I was like, personally, I've had enough of this TV channel stuff. I want to turn people's TVs into a computer that can watch streaming services. I mean, I saw Hulu and I was like, we got to get Hulu on a TV. How can I take these non-smart TVs and turn them into a TV? And so I priced it all out, and I was looking at like how much would I have to charge to take them to market and all that, and I was like, well, what are they using inside these cable boxes? Because that's basically what we'd have to modify. And I couldn't do anything with it within a couple years. Wind up playing video games too much. Never made a single dime off of that. I ran a few Kickstarters. I patented my bandage opener. I checked an empty coffin. That's one of the cheesiest but most honest inventions that I've got, is that bandage opener. Because it seems dumb, like you just tear it open. But personally, when I've got a bloody hand, how am I supposed to fiddle with it? And I had this idea. I was like, you know what? If I could just take the bandage, not Band-Aid, fuck Band-Aid brand. Those people stupid. Anyways, I was like, I could take the Band-Aid, stick it in the stapler, and then go bam and have it open. But then I started thinking, my great aunt was helping my great uncle, her husband, with some eye surgery, and she had to put a new Band-Aid over his eye every day, or like a couple times a day, and she has really bad arthritis. And so I wanted to make it so that she could use it. And I did. Fine line between novel and original. Well, that's why you gotta get a good judge. You get a good judge and he'll agree with you. How novel the idea is. Used to think it was about original, but nah. Nothing's truly original. Well, yeah, I mean, we are kind of just modifying stuff, which that vibrational air freshener, let's say that I got the patent for mine. You could make one too if you could do it better. But you have to do it differently. Your schematic has to be different. The genius in mine is how I use the sensors. Oh, it's so perfect. I love my car air freshener. It's so satisfying to use. I mean, I don't even have to do anything. That's why it's satisfying. I don't have to do squiggly. There it is, and it works. That's the best kind of invention. It's when you don't have to use it to use it. Probably should have unloaded some of my junk before I took on this whole dragon word thing. The definition of branding, oh dear lord. Oh, neons. People pay more for a brand than they do for a product. People buy packaging, and the proof is in generic products. I mean, people buy generic products, you know, stuff that was made on night shift or day shift or whatever. And then, you know, the whole, if you're making something, make a brand. Because if you, like, take the air freshener or the vapes, for example, you go out, you buy yourself a chunk of land, you put up a post frame, you get your driveways and your parking lots, and you fill it full of equipment, it's already obsolete. It's already deteriorating in value. But a brand, you build a brand, you can sell that brand, and it just gains value until the brand becomes a joke. I mean, I don't buy Nike shoes, but they sure do fetch a price. Brands, man, it's ridiculous. And when I think of a brand, I mean, for the most part, brands don't mean anything like they used to. But sometimes they do. Well, this just looks bad. Huh. All right. Right in the nuts spot. I don't know, I should probably be asking you stuff. You're the youthful generation who's on the cutting edge of things. Off course, had a lot of my work stolen. Large tech companies, aww. And when you say something like that to the public, they assume you're delusional. I know, right? Yeah. Kind of makes me think about how public is its own entity. Its own entity. Not to be confused with the left titty or the right titty. Gotta love them titties. Bounce a bouncer. Bouncy bouncy. Oh, I want to step on it so bad. Poka poka. We can hit that guy. I gotta stop shooting over him. Now he's on to us. Got him. That's what you get for being a skeleton. Well, that doesn't make sense. It's a lot easier to believe a team of thousands of engineers created something than to believe that one person did it better than I did and before I did. Because that would be a blow to my pride. But for me to go up against 1,000 engineers who actually just stole it because they like to poop on the company clock. Ooh, a flawless ruby? Hold on, dude. I'm freaking checking out the gems. Coming at me and swinging things. You didn't even have wrapped. No. You didn't even have protection on that. Remember my thing about the hammer? Daily Mail? I got another idea for that. One of these days I'm gonna film that. Trying to get a few ideas together. Another idea, it's kind of practical, is I'm gonna have the writer ask, what's the best way to preserve your cock? Well, that's a good question, writer. I think I'm gonna call him writer too, but I'll put the D in there. That's a good question, writer. And then I'm gonna go into, let's see. Well, let me show you how I preserve my cock. Let's see, I got a couple punchlines. Typically, I give it a little glove. I just take my old glove that I used, I put my cock between my legs, and I put it over the end. I learned this in high school, in biology class. And you don't want to squeeze it too hard or you'll blow out the reservoir tip. No, got to take the word reservoir out of there. You don't want to squeeze it too hard or you'll blow out the tip. Yeah. And the size of your glove is determined by the size of your cock. But it's interesting that you say, oh, it's so interesting that you say it's easier to believe 1,000 team 1,000 engineers. Because that was how I felt when I learned about the expanding hose. Pardon me. I learned, man, that thing is weighing on me. I think I need a stomach settler. You want to see me get fried? I quit smoking weed. I was thinking maybe I could smoke a little puff to like ease my stomach. Sheesh. So I thought the expanding hose, I was like, man, a revolution to garden hoses? That's like reinventing the wheel. And it must have been some hose company who's like, we need technology to be cutting edge. But I think there's, you know, a lot of companies, they don't really have a lot of R&D. You gotta pay the bills and compete before you can fund R&D. So the actual story about the expanding hose starts with a guy who was working out at the gym. And he's using the stretchy cords. He's like, you know, stretch cord exercise. I'm getting my money's worth out of my membership. And he says, I wonder if I filled this stretch cord with water. And then it would stretch back when it's done. What do they call it? The pocket hose. Speaking of which, you can find me on OnlyFans at Pocket Hose. You can see what I'm doing with my pocket hose. Gotta keep them hose pocketed. Keep it in your pants. That should have been that should have been their slogan, right? Pocket hose. Keep it in your pants. I'm not even stoned yet. And the dude, so here's where it gets gnarly. Is because, you know, it's all in who you know, right? Not really, but... So he was actually already employed in the DRTV business. The direct-to-consumer business, which is infomercials. And he went home, he prototyped the manufacturing line in his basement for $200. He's like, alright, I can start manufacturing these pocket hoses. And then he started, you know, doing the DRTV advertising, which goes back to branding. Because sure enough, there's patent infringers, and they're not in it to build the brand. They're in it for the quick cash grab. So there'll be a cheap product that will sully the name, and consumers will go, oh, I can get this cheaper and see if it works, and then maybe I'll buy the more expensive one. And then they get home, they're like, this doesn't work. Although, you know, kind of did, because it still exists. But he's like, well, the problem with patents is when you find someone infringing, you got to take them to court. You got to win, so you got to invest all that time and money. And then once you win, then you got to get them to stop. And then once they stop, then you got to take them to court for damages and prove damages. And then once you get the judgment for damages, you got to take them to collections. And by then, they'll just dissolve the company. Or brand, or whatever, offshoot, or whatever it is. And it's kind of that way with the MyPillow guy. Which goes back to building a brand. I mean, you can go to Walmart, and they'll have MyPillows, and right next to it, they'll have shredded memory foam pillows. It really comes down to being able to sell it. I've never been much of a salesman because I'm like, I hate annoying people because of my empathy. A good salesman does not have empathy. And that's a joke. Gotta have empathy. You gotta be able to understand your customer, right? Maybe? Well, this looks like we're getting somewhere. Probably just joking when you said easier to believe it is to believe they did better before you, because that's a blow up to your pride. But the rhetoric makes me want to play dirty. Well, I'll tell you something else. Just because you thought of it doesn't mean somebody else thought of it. or didn't think of it. Because people, they get at one idea, and they think, oh man, I'm gonna be able to retire off of this. My kids are gonna have a funded college education. That girl who turned me down in high school is gonna be trying to unzip my pants. And I'm gonna be going on the late shows and being like, yep, I'm the new dude. I came up with the idea. And so they hold on to their idea like it's a freaking dog with a pork chop, you know? They don't want to. They're not gonna let it go. And so when you say, oh yeah, I've seen something like that. Here's the line. People will say, they already have that. And I'm like, who? Where? I don't know. I don't want to talk anymore. So it's like difficult to persuade on account of people don't want to believe that somebody else could come up with the same idea. But the fact is, this is the hard one. If you have an idea that solves a problem, chances are somebody else has that problem, which makes it a good idea. But if that problem is prevalent enough, then somebody else is also thinking, I gotta solve this problem. Ooh, man, that would really light up your vape. Alright, let's see how much I cough with this. Attributed for it. Wanted a job, couldn't get hired, decided to make my own job. There you go. Knew it couldn't compete in oversaturated markets. Solved a problem most people didn't know existed. Now it's a mainstream problem. But I don't get credit. Eats at you mentally. Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. You got that quarter-life crisis coming. I don't have any advice for you either. Yeah. Alright, dude, how long is this gonna go on for? Probably gotta go turn something else off, right? I mean, the propane bill on this thing is probably giving Hank Hill a hard on. Yikes. Oh, I'm gonna regret that. No. Ugh. That stuff's so gross anymore. Ugh. You know that Shark Tank show? That's what I think about. The, what's his name? The guy that looks the most like a shark out of all of them. He looks like a shyster, and he's a bit of a dick. But if I had to pick one of the sharks to deal with, I'd be going with that guy. The bald guy. The guy that looks like he spends most of his fortune on scalp wax. He had a reality show. He's Canadian, so it was a Canadian reality show. Which, is that really reality? And the reality show's worth a watch. It's like 10, 15, maybe 20-year-old show now. But he had people compete. Oh, man. Okay, so the guy actually goes to jail at the beginning of the show. He gets arrested on purpose as an experience. He wanted to get the experience of getting booked and sitting in a jail cell and being treated like that, going through the whole process. And that way he could understand what, you know, they've been through, sort of that, you know, to an extent. And, oh, it's called Redemption. Yeah, give that a watch. It's called Redemption. I did check out your, Hema fighting tactics. That's pretty sweet. The way she's like resting it on her shoulder to get extra leverage out of it and over the head instead of just swinging it like a baseball bat. It did seem a little more tactile. With the show Redemption, he said the person who is the head of sales should be running the company because sales make a business a business. You have to make sales. Otherwise, you go out of business. Ooh, it's starting to hit me now, man. It's taking my mind off my stomach, at least. This stuff's not even fun. Ugh. It's good for the body. People ask me, like, how do you stay so young? Because a lot of times people in real life, they'll be like, wow, I thought you were like 27 or something. And fucking 5 years ago, they said that. So it's gone from looking 10 years younger to 15 years younger. And I used to say it was the weed oil. It's preserving me. You know, like when you preserve things in oil. I think a lot of it is wearing your emotion on your face. Every time I started to get old-minded, I'm like, no, I remember being youthful and hopeful. Smiles are hopeful, and hope is a luxury of youth. But here's when it's really gonna hit you, neons. It hits everybody, and I saw it on down the line. And then when I reach the age, and I've seen it happen a couple times after, when people hit 35, then they're like, I'm not in my 20s, I'm not in my early 30s, I better start growing up and getting real about it. And then they get depressed. And they start to die. And I'm like, well, I better grow up and get real about it. But I definitely don't want to be depressed. Screw that. Here I am playing video games, and I'm not depressed. Whoa, that's depressing. Yeah, watch that show Redemption. I think I'm gonna watch it again. It's been a long time. But the one person that ended up winning, she did like some kind of a... She did like a... Well, I won't ruin it, but... You gotta get out there and sell it. It's a lot of work. And it's not a lot of work. Mark Cute, no. Actually, that's a freaking lesson in itself. Mark Cute, because he actually saw something on the way up. And they wound up, they did some, like him and his buddies did some kind of online betting something or other. And they made some money out of that, like 50 grand or something like that. He sold his little company and got like 50,000. And with that, he bought the rights to stream the Victoria's Secret show online before before people were really doing things online. Here's something that'll blow your mind, is that in the 90s, using the internet was nerdy. And since it was still Web 1.0, which is where, you know, websites were .coms, and instead of going to look up, you know, like your local auto mechanic, you'd go look up joesmechanicshop.com, and then there'd be a virus. But nowadays, you'll go to Facebook and look up Joe's Mechanic Shop. And the old .coms, you know, you had to have somebody who knew how to do HTML, and digital cameras were $1,000, and then you got to buy the cord to plug it into the computer, and then you got to have the software to interface between the digital camera and the computer to get your photos, and then you got to have a good enough computer to handle the photos. And I remember looking at E-Bomb's World being like, when are they going to make a version where people can upload videos? Now we have YouTube that we're on right now. And so, the internet was basically, it's like, did you check the internet? Yeah, but I couldn't find anything. And then we got Web 2.0 with things like MySpace. And have you ever put something on one of these and balanced it before you take the thing off? I've never been able to get them both to balance like that. It still triggers. It's kind of triggering. But the internet, it was like useless. And then, I mean, there was chats, but it wasn't really content. Like, I think it was like 2002 is when I went on Car Domain. Before I ever heard of MySpace, but Car Domain, I posted pictures of my car, my Blazer with my stereo in it, and things that I was trying to do, custom things that I was trying to do. And then I got away from social media. I was trying to do the tech thing. Like, I was working on airbag modules for TRW. And then they put me over in the anti-lock brake and vehicle stability control module line. Those things are so dumb. They're just basic circuits with complex components, but they don't think. It's like hitting a switch and then the electricity goes through a bunch of stuff. But the switches are the tires. Yeah. Getting pretty fried, neons. That did me in. Probably wasn't the answer, but at least it'll help me get a little more sleep before work. Woof. Don't drink. Then you wind up smoking. And then you wind up regretting it. Then you wind up live streaming when you're 40. We're not that much older than each other. 20 years, just poof. That sounds weird. That sounds weird. But no, 20 years will just poof. And it kind of goes back to people wanting to not work hard. They want results today. But anything that's built today can be built again. And whether it's taking one thing and making it better day after day, or making one thing and then having 100 days worth of that, either way it grows to a greater percentage day after day. And people want, you know, I say bills come every month. So you gotta be ready to bring the money in every month. And so to take an idea and like I want to say Cuban wound up selling the rights. He secured the rights with like the 50 grand, and then he wound up, as the internet started taking off, he sold it for like 1.8 billion. And I think he took like 1.2 billion home, or maybe he sold it for like 2.1. He took 1.8 billion home, and so he was the first billionaire made on the internet, like, and not really overnight, but in a couple of years, like a few years. So that was kind of a thing. I fear working the rest of my life and no recognition for it going to someone else. Ah, yeah. Thou shalt not bear false witness. What, are we supposed to jump? I mean, we got the word. We could shout the word from up here. Is the word parachute? Yeah, I'm fried, man. It's not cool. Cannot be harmed or harm. Arms with the speed of the wind, allowing for faster strikes. Oh, that's kind of nice. Frosty breath. Double mint. How do you know about that? You been on my playlist? I completely forgot what we were talking about. Yeah. No more of that stuff. Makes my head hurt. Yeesh. Twenty freaking 3? I smoked for 24.5 years. That's ridiculous. And it was nothing then. What are the odds? Thou shalt not bear false. Well, everybody knows the basics, brother. Or sister. You know, there's the one about honor God, because he wrote them. There's, what do you got? No, the basic ones, everybody knows is thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, but that one's down there because God hates corporations. And, honor the father and mother, do, you know, something like that. Be nice to them once in a while. Actually, I should switch that around. I should say, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. That one comes after it because it's not as important. And then there's something about honor the father and mother down there a ways. Or honor the father and mother, but that's down there a ways because Jesus was a dick. Or no, because Jesus was a brat. I don't know. We gotta work on them a bit. But anyways. Exact context. Just sort of surprising. Yeah. You know what I've been seeing and I try to keep in mind? As much as it's important to sell something, and emotion and intonation have a lot to play in roles of our lives as we feel them. From an engineer's standpoint, or just from a logical standpoint, inaccuracies in your problems cause inaccuracies in your solutions. So if you can't accurately describe your problem, you're not going to accurately achieve your solution. I went the wrong way. Nope, we're fine. We're headed right where we're supposed to go. Hot diggity. Ouch.
Did you see a dog out there?
Nope.
Oh well. The blacksmith is offering a reward for a dog he saw on the road. I was hoping you'd seen it. I guess I'll stay on the lookout. Keep your nose clean while you're here, outsider.
What, you guys got some kind of problem with dirty noses? I mean, that's kind of nosy.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard.
You know, you mentioned something about recognition. Recognition comes in many forms. Although, that's debatable. Because, as many times as I've checked, my calculator has no many button. You know what else? There's no a lot button on my calculator. Like, a lot. There's a 1, there's a 3. The 2 is a little funny looking, it might not be a 2. But there's all the way up to 9, and there's a 0. But there is no a lot button. There's no... Almost... How much of that did I smoke? I almost said there's no sum button. But there is. Word bath.
How do you feel? I think you might be sick.
I think I am. But so are you. With that outfit on. Dope. Hey, what's up, Jarl?
Good to see you. Finally, someone useful is around.
You don't have to compete with the vampires anymore.
Teach them to stop paying me. Here, you deserve a reward for your service. You know what? I like you. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I hereby grant you permission to purchase property in Falkreath Hold. Talk to my steward if you're interested.
Alright. You need anything else, homie?
There is room in my court for a new thane. It's an honorary title mainly, but there are a few perks someone like you could make use of. However, I could only grant the title to someone who is known throughout my hold. You help my people, and I'll make you my thane.
Yeah.
On your way, then. Come and see me again sometime. I might have some use for you.
Let's buy a house.
I protect the Jarl, whoever that might be.
Oh, that's probably the house seller.
I'm the steward here. Sid Gear can sometimes act too quickly, but he does listen to Helvert and I.
That's cool. House me, please.
There's no house available, but I could sell you a fine piece of land where you could build your own house.
Oh shit, that's what this is? Yes.
You won't regret it. Here's the title to your steading.
Scrizzor.
Follow the road east from Falkreath, then north at the crossroads. Turn left just past Pine Watch.
Shit. Alright. We'll be back.
May wisdom forever light your path.
Forgot it was
For
commandments.
Falkreath and I, this is just a
Thumbnail is a quote from Proverbs
I'm the
9:5.
steward here. I serve under Jarl Sid Gear and
False
Jarl Den
witness
here
will
before
not go unpunished. Whoever pours out lies will not go free. So I was having a conversation with someone, and like we were talking about how it's not so important whether Jesus was or wasn't. It's more important what he had to say about stuff. That really caught on. I mean, the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth are freaking something. And we're talking about, like, you know, the 5 ways and stuff like that, and how, you know, you can prove God's existence, but you don't prove God's intentions. You don't want to test that stuff or whatever. But anyways, I was like, all right. Earth is not heaven. And you can't say just because your life isn't perfect that God doesn't exist or that God doesn't love you. So let me ask you, and I'm talking to him, I was like, let me, say you do have a creator. What does your creator owe you? And he was like, some guidance and understanding. I was like, that's what the 10 Commandments are. I said, how many commandments do you need? 3, 30? You need a phone book? Maybe, one rule to live by? So, you got the 10-ish of them, and they kind of, they're, all debatable too, as words are. But that's the folly of men. Reading is unnatural. Man. Okay, no more for me. Especially no more club tails. Freaking gas. Hurt my liver. Visit your property. Heck yeah, let's go visit our property.
What is it?
We're going to visit our property. We can probably drop some stuff off there, huh?
Gods gave you 2 hands.
I read through the Bible, front to back. Wanted the whole story. I recommend it. It's different. It depends on which, Bible you read, and I think I had like a easy to read Bible or something like that. Whoa, we got one. I mean, it wasn't all it was translated into normal people speak. And what was interesting about it is that there was like time periods where things are going great for a while, like 50, 100 years, 250 years, and then they turn around and they're doing bad for like 50 to 250 years. Usually somewhere around the 50 to 100 years mark. And that's where I'm kind of at like right now. I bet we must be in a lull. We're in the downswing. Oh shoot, bee's nest. Oh, there we go. Buy lumber for building your house. Use the drafting table. Ah. House. There we go. Well, that's cool. So what did you put on your house? What were your... I think I had the alchemy wing, and I had like the library or something. I don't know. I wanted a spiral tower thing. You gotta have a rook. Epicurean paradox. I can't even read that word. Epicurean, is that European? How many times shall you forgive your neighbor? Eye for an eye. Yeah, it's all meant to be applied, and that's the thing is that man wrote the Bible about history that happened. No, that's what I appreciate is the conversation. That's why I go live. It's basically playing video games on my front porch, and people can come by and say hi. Trophy room. But hey, man, there's probably some new stuff here. I mean, when I played the game like 5 years ago, I don't even know if I had the house. I might have only done the house in my, like, 10 years ago playthrough. We're gonna look. Shit, we're in Solstheim. How long does it take to get back? Yeah, I think we can go back. That's easy enough.
You've got to help me. I conjured an Ash Guardian and now it's running amok.
Good luck.
You won't help me? Master Neloth is going to kill me. Assuming he doesn't make me into a test subject again.
I'm gonna get you. Oh, Silk Strider. What's up, buddy? Yeah, let's run over there. Can we get a ride on the Silk Strider?
Yes.
Oh.
Until next time.
Alright, how do we get home? There we go. Yeah, that hearth fire hasn't been updated since my birthday. 10th. Wow. Yeah, that does, yeah. Not really. I'm too high to feel old. There it is. What do we got? What do we got? Oh wait, I did build a house. I didn't. No, yeah, I built a house. The dragon. Got the mushroom things. Mushroom garden. Who doesn't want one of those, huh? Miralax. The shittiest bad guy. That was unfounded. Oh wow, I haven't done anything in here. Huh. Oh, I was like, holy shit, there's somebody. Okay, so I did make that. I just dropped it in here. Dark Brotherhood. What am I wearing? Amulet of Talos. Dark Brotherhood. Archery ring, huh? Oh man, I just remembered we can only wear one ring in this game, huh? Mask of Miralax. Avoid the inevitable shame. That's funny. Backs look like stink bugs. Overglorified stink bug. Huh. That's a dark elf thing to say. I guess that'd be a high elf thing to say, huh? That the tall elves would probably say that about the silt striders. Silt striders, more like stink striders. Overglorified. I was gonna say gnat. Over glorified flea. Go ride your stinky flea. Or whatever. Oh, house. Straightforward. I gotta make nails. Alright. Well, at least we can stick some stuff in here. Okay, there we go. There's enough stuff to do the house except for the wood, right? That's how you do it. Nails, okay. Iron fittings, lock, and 2 hinge and hinge. 2 hinge. Fittings, lock, and 2 hinge. Okay. Alright. I mean, we got a house. Hey. Alright, we can store stuff in here. We can send someone there. Like Ilya, if we ever find her again. Anyone who doesn't know their ES lore is probably thinking, what's wrong with this kid? High elves are greater than dark elves. Incest equals wincest. Oh, that's such a wrong term. I've never heard that one before. There's probably a whole Reddit thread called that. Look at me. I'm much more easily assuming that there's thousands of commenters on Reddit. You didn't come. That's a nice new term, Neons. And let you be granted all the credit on that one. That's funny. It's disgustingly funny. It's kind of like the whole stepsister thing. It's weird. It's not as weird, of course, but at the same time, it's like weird. Actually, I'm gonna want those, huh? Oh yeah, we just shed a whole bunch of weight. Does this title come with prestige? That's a high elf thing to say. It's like Habsburgs, except all pride went straight to their ears rather than their chin. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. We're gonna have to get a load of logs. Looks like I'll have to eat more fiber. Oh, that was a poop joke. We need a load of log. Okay. Leave that joke in the dunny. I think that's gotta be one of the funniest words. For toilet? The dunny? Good conversation, Neons. Good to exercise the mind once in a while. Or maybe I'm just toasted. Sheesh. Stuff weighs on you. Hey, leave him alone. I brought them all onto me. Everybody hates the fox. Going out here, whatever it is. You know what's starting to sound good? Munchies. Taco. Tacos. Love taco seasoning. Ooh, the Lady Stone. I don't know if I'd want to put it in there. Talk about being between a rock and a hard spot. Dunny? Well, where did I hear it? It must have been like some kind of TV show. Maybe it's a term from the 1900s. Yeah, first thing that shows up. Dunny, a toilet. It's spelt with a D and then the schwa and then an N and then an E with a line over it. Australian slang for toilet. Okay. I'm not crazy. Commodore. Okay. Commode. Commode, okay. Breeches. Well, the next time I go to the club, I'm gonna burst into the door and run up to the bartender and yell, "Where's the commode? I'm about to breach my breeches." In an effort to help remove that possible problem. Oh man, I want vampire wood. That's not the right term to say, Jacob.
Here for work? Get an axe and bring me all the wood you can chop.
I'd like to buy some lumber, please.
Doing some building, eh? We can deliver it wherever you need.
I'll take 20 logs.
I'll have them hauled over right away.
Great.
I'd better get going.
Mm-hmm. What she means is you better get going before she sinks her teeth into us. Alright, one other thing. Now all I hear is skibidi toilet. Toilet is so many syllables. It hurts my face to work that hard to pronounce a word. It's gonna take me a minute, but I want to think of the name of the comedian who he was talking about why Budweiser is so successful. As far as comedians go, it's all in his personality. He's definitely a character, to the point where I saw him, he was doing an interview, and he was talking about how he got this Dodge commercial. It was a commercial for Dodge when they just came out with their Hemis. Again, second time around. And he was the guy who's looking over, he's like, is that a Hemi? Has he got a Hemi? And he said that when he went to the audition for the commercial, he went in, he turned the chair to its side, and he poked his tongue out his cheek, and he just sat there going like this. And he got the audition because he just looks like the character. And he's talking about how it's so much work. It's so much work to try and order a beer when you're drunk. Just give me I'm in a high. Bud. Makes sense. Kids today, they wouldn't even know what it meant. Flush the commode and pull your breeches. It's about time for supper. Flush the commode and pull your breeches. That's freaking funny, man. I can imagine her saying that too.
Did you see a hound on the road? A fine, strong creature that's been wandering near town?
The guard said something.
I asked the gate guards to look for him. I can't afford to chase him down, but could use a fierce, loyal beast to keep me company.
Yikes.
If you were willing to retrieve him for me, I'd give you some fresh meat to attract him out on the road.
Oh, man. I think I'm gonna change my dating profile to read a fierce, loyal beast to keep you company.
Good. There's some gold in it for you if you succeed. Here's the meat. Check the road just outside of town.
Alright, I think we better go to church. Language has changed a lot in 20 years. I change it in 20 sentences. Making up words all the time.
Writhing in the filth of our own corruption.
Yeesh.
Why you have ascended from the dung?
Dung. That's a funny word. Well, hey, Neons, I think we found the answer. We'll just have a video game say... We'll make a video game, and it'll quote your great-grandma. Flush the commode and pull your breeches. It's almost time for supper. I like it. We're sticking with it. Alright, let's go get us a dog. What do we feed it? Something?
You are exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Yeah, I think you'll be just what I need. You see, my name is Bobby, and I have a problem I think you can help sort out.
I did smoke too much, huh?
I know. Wars to fight, dragons to confront, guild business to conduct. Sheesh. Listen, when you're ready to do something useful, find me outside Homiez Shane in Vercauteren.
Alright.
My master and I had a bit of a falling out. We got into an argument and it got rather heated. He's kicked me out until I find someone who can settle our disagreement. That's where you come in.
Alright.
Thank you. Now, since he banished me, Vio's been rather weak. He can't manifest very far from one of his shrines. I know there's a cult that worships him at Homiez Shane. We should be able to talk to him there. If this works out, I'll make sure you're rewarded. Hey, just don't trust any offer he makes you, okay?
Not the message I'm trying to send. Inside me there are 2 wolves, and neither of them are named Barbas. One of them could be named Clavicus Vile. Or some kind of vile. Maybe it's Clavicus Bile. Just saying that churns my bile. You're too slow, puppy dog. Is he really in attack mode? For crying out loud. I think there's 2 wolves inside of that guy. You just got jiggly slapped. How do you feel about that? I broke my clavicle and choked on the vial. Yeah, that's my OnlyFans. Clavicle vial. Clavicus vial. Where'd the puppy dog go? Alright. I can still taste that damn club tails. Don't know why, but man, that one hit me. You know what it is? I bet it's the cashews. I had those cashews. That's the only thing different recently. And cashews have a lot of fats in them. I'll come out of it alright. Kingdom Come Deliverance. That was the other one I was gonna look up. I looked up the HEMA stuff. Historically accurate. Or historically enacted. Something, whatever. It was really cool seeing the techniques. Versus this just swing it like it's a baseball bat stuff. Because she was like using her body weight to throw the sword around, which makes more sense. Historical European martial arts, yeah. I've always wanted to go to one of them Renaissance fairs. I'm not sure if I'm young enough to be a LARPer. My buddy, he 3D prints things. Like he's always 3D printing various things. Like he's 3D printed a Thor's hammer. And then he 3D printed a Thor's hammer big enough to store a Thor's hammer inside of it. Okay, poopy dog. Where are we going? Might come back to that. I lost him. LARPing is different than a Renaissance fair. HEMA is a sport. Okay. Oh man, there was a a reality show about jousting. The name of it was so cheesy. What was that called? It was so cheesy I wanted to grill it into a sandwich. But the show was cool, and the name is cheesy. Oh. What am I thinking of? This is just called Full Metal Jousting. It was cool, though. Reed. Always wanted to do some kendo. The armor's expensive, though. Full set of kendo armor. It's like $500 or something. I don't know. I think I'm finally ready to take a nap, Home Slice. Yeah. I get some rest. I get some work done. Good chatting, man. Hope to see you next time. Take it easy.